Hey, Trailblazers, Leila here. How's it going? How are you? Jumping on a little bit later than usual, but it's all good. When you catch the replay, post below. Where are you? Share with me how your day is going because we are midweek. So how's your week been so far? Have you had a good one? What you've been up to? All of that good stuff. So post it below. I love reading, and connecting with you guys and hearing more about what you're up to. So I'd love to know more. All right, so in today's self-mastery session, I'm going to be speaking to you about failing and still succeeding. So I just got back a little while ago from delivering a workshop at a library for young people, for teenagers, and it was a fantastic vibe. I absolutely loved it. And basically what it was, so these young people, they're teenagers, they're going to college in a few weeks' time. They're getting their GCSE exam results tomorrow, and that was kind of like lingering in the air, that kind of nervousness and that fear of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? Have I passed? Have I failed? And we had a really, really nice chat about failing and succeeding. So I want to jump on and share some of the insights and actually just share some of my own experiences with you as well, because failing and succeeding, it's just part of life. It's just a normal, usual part of our kind of day-to-day goings on. You could think of it that way, but failing is just a normal part of who we are and how we progress through life. And so hey, yay, hey Christine. So what I wanted to share with you were some of the things that I talked about with them. Okay, I've got a coin with me. I found a €2 the other day. I love these pennies from heaven, little notes, like, oh, here's a little penny, here's a little reminder. Anyway, so I've got a euro here, okay? So what I shared with the group this morning was that imagine, okay, so you've got a coin, imagine that one side is failure and one side is success, okay? Failure and success are two sides of a coin, and they're normal, right? So this is just usual. So on the one side you've got failure, on the other side you've got success. Failure is a normal part of life, okay? Failure is a usual part of success. Without failing, without making mistakes, without making any errors, we first of all would not appreciate the success. We wouldn't be grateful for it, but we also wouldn't value success. And so what failure does is it teaches us it teaches us humility, and it teaches us of our humanity, how human we are, and that we are all flawed, and that we are on a journey of progress and getting better and doing better and so on. So failing is not a bad thing at all. I always say you've got to fail as much as you possibly can, and at the same time, as long as you are learning, and celebrate your successes. So this failure part is super important, because this is where most of your learning happens. Most of our learning happens in this place of failing. When something didn't go right, when something did go right but not as well as it could have. When we, said something or did something that was, not the best thing, or when we tried our best and thought something was going to work out and it didn't. As long as you are showing up, as long as you're trying, as long as you are making mistakes and learning from them, you are always going to be a success. You are always going to be this side. You are always going to have success in your life. In the middle is learning, okay? So whether you're succeeding or whether you're failing, you're always going to be learning. Always have that mindset that you're always learning. Failure is feedback of what requires improvement, what can be done better, and actually just how things are. Sometimes we fail at things and it's totally okay. It just is what it is, because it wasn't meant to be anything else. And succeeding is about saying, you know what, yeah, I've done really, really well, and I'm doing my best, and these things are working, how I feel within myself is working, self-talk is working, You know, like that feels really, really good. It feels good to succeed. It feels good to progress and to move up and to move up and to kind of lay that foundation of wellness, inner well-being and positive self-talk along the way as you progress. So just to share a couple of things that I failed at, because there's one example that I shared where you know, I shared about my background as a teacher and my dream to teach French. You know, I knew that I wanted to teach when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and French was the only thing that I wanted to teach at the time. And now I teach this. So now I teach self-mastery. So when I, you know, because I was really invested in teaching French, like that was my dream. And I think when I was about, how old was I? In my 20s, I went for a job. I went to, no, in fact, I was going to talk about the A-levels, right? So I failed my A-level French. And I was absolutely gutted. I was devastated because I had done my absolute best and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't pass the exam. And like literally, I was devastated. And it really kind of woke me up. It really woke me up. Now, one of the reasons why I failed my A-level was because at the time, well, the years prior, I was actually going through forced engagement and life circumstances weren't conducive to me actually succeeding. You know, mentally and emotionally, I was torn. You know, I could just feel that my life was, in so many ways, it was ending with this forced engagement. So as much as I did whatever I possibly could to study, you know, I failed my exams. And so this woke me up. And instead of giving up, right? Instead of just saying, okay, that vision that I have in my mind, I'm just going to give it up. I'm just going to let it go. Instead of continuing to follow my heart, instead of not following my heart, I chose to backtrack and I chose to actually redo my exams and go to a different college and start all over again. And circumstances were kind of not really improved, but slightly different. So I got myself into that space of I need to pass my exam because the vision that I have on my heart and what is in my heart is so true and it's so real that I'm going to keep going no matter how many times I fail. And so that failure really taught me so much. It actually got me back on track. It helped me to just stay on my path. So this was like when I was 16, 17, 18 years old. And, you know, I was sharing this morning with these young people and I could just feel it. Honestly, I could just feel their pain and their like anxiety of what's going to happen? Am I a failure? Am I a success or what? And I just had to say to them, no matter what exam results you get, no matter what interviews you pass or you don't pass, you as a human being are not a failure. There's a Leila's Wise Five for you, okay? You as a human being are not a failure just because an exam or an interview didn't go your way. It's process, yeah? It takes a process to succeed at something, and that process can always be learned. So one other thing that I wanted to share as well, a couple of other things. I went for an interview as this was for a teaching assistant post in France and with the British Council, and I failed it. And I was devastated. And this was like a few years later, because on my heart was, I'm going to be a teacher. I'm meant to be a French teacher. That's what I know I'm here to do. I know I'm here to teach. And so again, that devastation was just like, oh my gosh. But it really, that particular experience taught me to live in the moment and to trust that the dream is unfolding and where I'm meant to be is coming my way. That everything else in the universe is aligning for me to be on the path of least resistance, on the path that is going to take me to that physical realization of teaching. And so what ended up happening, I ended up moving to France, and whilst I was in France, I actually applied for some teaching assistant jobs, and I got a job whilst I was out there without any organisation, as in like an organisational body, which was amazing. So I still ended up having failed, I still ended up succeeding. I still ended up becoming an amazing, amazing teacher, because it just lights me up. You know, when you're just doing something so, so natural, it just lights you up. And that just felt like, wow, yes. So I failed, and yet I still succeeded. And the succeeding was also in the part of, let me just try again. Let me trust the universe. Let me just have faith in myself and in the bigger picture. Let me just do what I'm here to do. I'd love to hear from you. Actually, just post below if this is resonating, if this is making sense. Post below any questions that you might have. Share below any failures that you might have experienced yourself and how you've moved yourself forward to succeed. I'd love to read those. So post those below, okay? And then also relationships as well. Oftentimes many of us will fail relationships. And that just means that, we might have tried our very, very best with particular relationships, and they didn't turn out how we wanted. They didn't turn out as our expectations were. And that's always okay as well. Because when it comes to relationships, each and every single one of us is on our own path. And many, many relationships will come into our lives and go out of our lives and come in and flow out. And that's okay. Unconditional love is about saying you're free to go, you're free to stay, do what you wish. The love is always there. And so when relationships fail, whether they're personal relationships, intimate relationships, family relationships, as long as you are learning, as long as you're doing that middle part, as long as you are learning, then the failure of that relationship wasn't really a failure. You still succeeded because you found the wisdom and the blessings and the lessons in that particular experience with that particular person. We all have them. I've definitely got loads of relationships that I've failed at. And to share with you my family relationship, I was disowned and I left the family in my early 20s. A lot happened in my 20s. And so we didn't have each other in our lives until just a few years ago. And now we've got a much, much better, more harmonious relationship. There's been so much forgiveness, so much love, so much kindness. And, and it's taken a very, very, very long time and a lot of inner work, in particular on my part. And I know, the members of the family have been working on themselves as well. But that felt like a deep, deep, profound failure, which was really, really it was just the hardest thing ever to deal with. But that failure was still a success, because of that commitment and that decision to say, do you know what, I'm going to keep going. I believe in my family. I have so much love for them. I believe in myself. I have so much love for myself. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And that meant forgiveness by the bucket loads, like forgiveness, and really diving deep and finding that compassion within to just keep being there for myself and being there for the family as well. So these failures are just normal. They're standard. They happen. We're all going through them in some way, shape or form. You as a person, like I said earlier, you as a person are not a failure. The relationship failed or the situation failed. And that is where the learning is in order to keep moving forward. Okay? So it's a little bit of a long video, but I hope that's okay. So share below any insights as well. What motivates you when it comes to relationships? What motivates you? What keeps you motivated when you feel like you are failing? I'd love to know that. So post below, okay? And the last thing that I'm going to share with you is just to remind you again, okay, that you are here to evolve as a human being. You are here to become more and more and more of the true love that is within you. In order to do that, we have to go through contrasting experiences. We have to have the failures in order to succeed as a human being who is striving and thriving and doing their best simply because they're showing up, okay? The whole purpose of life is to just keep evolving, to keep growing and become more of the love that we really truly are. Failure is the #1 way to learn that. Failure is like the accelerator, right? It's the accelerator of this is not working anymore. Change direction, pivot. Thank you. I can't see who that was, but thanks so much. So, failure is a great accelerator at pivoting in the direction of, in the direction that you're meant to be going in, really for the lessons that you're then meant to learn. Yeah. because we're learning lessons all the time. I think I could actually talk about this forever because there's just so much in it. And like, you know, we're all in this thing called life together, right? I have failed at so many things. And the difference now, as I've got older, is I don't take those failures personally. What I do is I learn from them. I learn from them, I reflect on them, I take some time out, I wonder what I could have done better. I check in with myself, you know, why didn't I do it in a certain way? Was I holding myself back through fear? Was I not showing up with courage? Or was it just meant to be a failure that wasn't meant to be anything other than that, you know? It's really, really important to ask these questions. And as you know, I'm a coach and I'm all about helping every single person, as many people as I possibly can, helping you guys to tap into your inner resources, to find the answers within you, because they definitely are within you. So if you would love to sign up for a free breakthrough session, I have. So we're Wednesday, probably got 2 more slots, maybe 1 more slot for this week, okay? So if you want to sign up for a free breakthrough session to help you to maybe come to terms with some of the failures that you've experienced, or to help you get back on track, you know, from where things are, and you know, if life doesn't look like the way you want it to, sign up for a breakthrough session. They're really, really powerful sessions, and there's always amazing feedback from people as well. Completely free. All you got to do is either post below that you want to sign up, or send me a DM and I will send you my availability for this week. Remember, please, that you have it all with you, within you, okay? You've definitely got it within you to make all of your dreams come true. Learn from failures, celebrate your successes, love yourself wholeheartedly every single step of the way, and trust that you are always being guided to where you're meant to go, and life is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. I really could talk to you guys about this for so long. Like 17 minutes already? That doesn't feel like 17 minutes. But anyway, I'm going to leave you guys. Please do share and let your network know as well. Comment, feedback, follow, like, love, all of that good stuff. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Mwah. Have an amazing day. Bye.